It seems incredible, but all this information about evolution, about our relationship to each other and to all living things, it's all right here in this monotonous stream of letters. And as the Human Genome Project progressed and hit high gear, the pace of discovery quickened. Once they got fully automated, it wasn't long before Lander and Collins and all the other public project teams had reason to celebrate.
I'm Francis Collins, the director of the National Human Genome Research Institute, and we are happy to be here together to have a party today.
By November of 1999, they had reached a major milestone. In a 5-way award ceremony hooked up by satellite, the major university teams announced they had finished 1 billion base pairs of DNA, a third of the total genome.
We got everybody? I would like to propose a toast. 1 billion base pairs, all on the public internet available to anybody in the world. It's an incredible achievement. It hasn't been completely painless. And because I know everybody in this room is living and breathing and thinking every single moment of the day about how to make all this happen, how we can hit full scale, I want to be sure you realize what a remarkable thing we pulled off. I hope you also know that this is history. Whatever else you do in your lives, you're part of history. And we're part of an amazing effort on the part of the world to produce this. And this isn't going to be like the moon where we just visit occasionally. This is going to be something that every student, every doctor uses every day in the next century and the century after that. It's something to tell your kids about. It's something to tell your grandkids about. It's something you should all be tremendously proud of. And I'm tremendously proud of you. A toast to this remarkable group, to the work we've done, to the work ahead. Hear, hear. Hear, hear.
Everybody here is hoping the Genome Project will help cure disease. And the sooner it's done, the better for all of us.
They get to sequence it before us. Yeah, I guess he wants to keep some of it.
But there's something more than idealism, more than even pride that's driving this race to finish the genome. And that's the knowledge that with every day that passes, more and more pieces of our genome are being turned into private property by way of the U.S. Patent Office.
I said property.
The office is inundated with requests for patents for every imaginable invention, from Star Wars action figures to jet engines. And here, along with all those gizmos, are requests for patents for human genes. Things that exist naturally in every one of us. How is this possible?
We regard genes as a patentable subject matter as we regard almost any chemical. We have issued patents on a number of compounds, a number of compositions that are found in the human body. For example, the gene that encodes for insulin has been patented, and that now is used to make almost all of the insulin that is made. So people's lives are being saved today. Diabetics' lives are better. As a matter of fact, if we ruled out every chemical that's found in the human body, there'd be an awful lot of inventions that were not able to be protected.
Generally, to patent an invention, you've got to prove that it's new and useful. But a few years ago, critics said that the Patent Office wasn't being tough enough. So applicants would say, well, here's a brand new sequence of A's, C's, T's, and G's right out of our machines. That's new. Now, useful. What are they going to be used for? Well, they were kind of vague about use, says Eric Lander.
The sort of thing that people used to do then was they would say, it could be used as a probe to detect itself. It's a trivial use. I mean, it's like saying, I could use this new protein as packing peanuts to stuff in a box. I mean, it's true.
Or
it
wouldn't
takes up
the patent
space.
examiner say, that's not useful?
No. You see, the patent guidelines were very unclear. I don't object to giving somebody that limited time monopoly when they've really invented a cure for a disease, some really important therapy. I do object to giving a monopoly when somebody has simply described a couple hundred letters of a gene, has no idea what use you could have in medicine, because what's going to happen is you've given away that precious monopoly to somebody who's done a little bit of work, and then the people who want to come along and do a lot of work to turn it into a therapy, well, they've got to go pay the person who already owns it. I think it's a bad deal for society.
It takes at least 2 years for the Patent Office to process a single application. So right now, the Patent Office says there are about 20,000 genetic patents waiting for approval. All of them are in limbo. This can cause problems for drug companies who are trying to work with genes to cure disease. I'm a company trying to do work on this, and this rung of the ladder.
Right.
Because I think that I could maybe develop a cure for cancer right here,
Yep.
for the sake of argument. But of course, I have to worry that somebody owns this space.
Oh, you have to worry a lot that this region here that you're working on that might cure cancer has already been patented by somebody else, and that patent filing is not public. And so you're living with the shadow that all of your work may go for naught.
Because one day the
somebody
phone
else-
rings and says, sorry, you can't work here, get off my territory.
That's right.
Or you can work here, but I'm going to charge you $100,000 a week. Or you can work here and I'll charge you a nickel, but I want 50% of whatever you discover.
And
or any
the
of it.
problem there is it's even worse because many companies don't start the work whenever there's a cloud over who owns that. If there's uncertainty, companies would rather be working someplace where they don't have uncertainty, and therefore I think work doesn't get done because of the confusion over who owns stuff.
Supporters of patents say that they are a crucial incentive for drug companies. Drug research is phenomenally expensive, but if a company can monopolize a big discovery with a patent, it can make hundreds of millions of dollars. Research scientists suddenly find themselves in an unfamiliar world ruled by big money.
Every scientist who does research is now being looked upon as a generator of wealth. Even if that person is not interested in it, if they sequence some DNA, that could be patentable material. So whether the scientist likes it or not, he or she becomes an entrepreneur just by virtue of doing science.